friends and hello student. In this session we learn the derived class constructor in C++. So means we can use in inheritance constructor. So yes, first I share my laptop screen and here fix the position, and here turbo C++ is there. I just double click and take some process, and now yes is open and Alt F and open to my previous video lecture as a single inheritance, and we can use not that the first time in the constructor. So now that time is we can elaborate means syntax of constructor. So as single, yes, that name is single underscore int inheritance. So here first we can understand all the what is inheritance. Inheritance is acquired to property one class to other class, that call inheritance. And then types of inheritance: single, multiple, hierarchical, multi-level, hybrid, and multipath. So there are 6 inheritance, and that program is write a program to write a program to prepare student mark sheet. Yes, so here prepares student mark sheet using single inheritance. Okay, so here in last we can derive. So yes, that public, that is a public derivation is there. So yes, all that program first can let us check any error. Yes, no any error. So that is our student mark sheet, and then roll number, name, yes, 3 subject mark total, yes, and percentage. So get data and put data we have to use in this mark sheet. So here we cannot now use to get data, but derived class constructor. So what is a order? So derived class is responsibility to call the base class constructor, and that order is a first here is only one single inheritance, but here like multiple inheritance. So which order you have to derive, that order you can follow the or call the constructor also. So here we can simplicity first single inheritance check, and that syntax is very important. So here I first write the syntax, and then we can start our constructor. So that is a first here derive uh, that class, yes, derived class constructor. So that is a, you have to know very well, class name and constructor name that are same. Okay, derived class constructor, and then we can parenthesis, yes, and then colon, and then we can call to our base class like base class 1, and then parenthesis and comma, base class 2, and then parenthesis, and that base class n up to n we have to follow this sequence. So yes, that is, and then body of that constructor, yes, opening and closing, and then here we can provide to body of derived constructor. So that is a body of derived class constructor. Okay, so that is a syntax, and here we can pass all argument in first derived class constructor. So we can say that argument list 1, and then argument list 2, that is a n number of, we cannot write all, so argument list n, and then last n after that argument list is a derived class itself. So here we can write only d, and in between is a colon. So last is a derived class, that argument is there. So here that first is a, that argument is a, like we can assign to pass to here our base class constructor. So here I write for simplicity. So argument list 1, that pass in base 1, and argument we can say that list 2 pass to our base class 2, and same process argument list n, that pass to n number of that base class. So that is a syntax. So you can, that dot dot means so first we can say that first argument is a that first base class, then second argument is a second, and then up to n number of, so that is our n number of base class. So that sequence we have to follow in derived class. And then after last here, that is a argument is a derived which itself, and then body part of that initialization. So that is a syntax of we can say that constructor calling, and that is a first base class, and which you can follow the order, and virtual base is a ordinary simple class is a after last first initialize highest priority is a virtual base class. So like in multipath inheritance we can see the virtual base classes, that concept we can first over any order, but that is first priority, but you can virtual after and first ordinary class, but that is a first initialize is always the virtual class, then ordinary class, and then derived class is itself is a initialization. And you can general all are ordinary is a base class, then which that is follow the inheritance, which first is a inheritance, that is called that base class in derived class. So that is a syntax. So here I again give the comment line, so here for your reference. So I open this multi-comment line, yes, here and here, because that is a here we have to start and here we can end. So now base of this, so here single inheritance, and also I write this syntax, so you can for your reference. And now we can remove the get data, yes. So here our get data is there, and then student mark sheet, student class inheritance. So here I now is not required to this get data, okay. So we can use the constructor. So first I save as this file, so we can benefit help to both files. So I save as, so single we can say that in, but that's so name single inheritance, and then constructor. So here I remove the single constructor, so we can use understand single inheritance use the constructor. So then and then, because 8 character more than you cannot apply to your file name. So here single constructor, so single inherit use the constructor, that is meaning. Okay, so that's saved. Okay, now we can disturb this file, means remove this constructor member function get data of our student class, that is definition I remove to here because we have to not require. So here now we can use the constructor. So yes, here class name is a constructor, and there is no any return data type. You have to know rules of constructor, that is a same name as class name. There is no even void you have to, there is no any return data type. So here student, and you can also define the default constructor, but here just let us check. So now we can give some parameter, and there are only 2 parameters, that is parameter constructor. So R and then character, yes, that array, and then we can pass str, yes, and here yes we can take pointer, yes, that is a pointer, so you have to know very well. And here we can initialize, so rno equal to r, that is our constructor, and we can supply to our derived class, that base class constructor call that time. Okay, so that we can follow the syntax. And here we can use one string handling function, because string data type not in whole in the we can say that in C++ or C, that string data type is not there, so we can use the string dot h, yes, string. So yes, here how to directly we cannot copy like str and that type of, yes, that's not possible like in our integer variable, because that is not a string data type in there. So we can use strcy, and that our student name and comma, and then comma, and then copy. So source is there, and we can copy the destination. So that is possible. Okay. So string str, string copy that name, and put data is same. We cannot require to change. So also we can put in the class inside, that possible, but we can remain in same. Okay, now here we can also remove our get data in the derived class, and same follow this we can syntax as mark sheet. Yes, and we can take our syntax colon, and then our uh, base class constructor. So that is we can supply to list our base class constructor. So our base class, that student, yes, that name, and we can pass to constructor that parameter. So that is follow the syntax. Here I just show you again. So here derived class constructor, and yes argument, and in between is a colon sign, yes, and then base class 1. So only here is a one base class, yes. So first, and then argument supply first. So in between is a colon sign. Yes, and then first argument we can pass to our base constructor. So yes, first we can take the that follow the syntax. So here we can take like integer, yes, same, yes, integer, and taking the r, yes, no problem, and then character, asterisk character, asterisk sign pointer, and then our base. So we can how to initialize, because that is a subject and 1D array is there. So yes, that is a some problem is there, but only not a subject array. So we can not copy 1D array is there. So yes, so how to copy? So we can pass the pointer is possibility. Okay, so here we can take, yes, so integer, and then we can supply to here asterisk p. Yes, pointer we have to pass. Let us check. And then here we can supply to our r and str. Yes, so that is pass. And now we can copy to our string. Yes, so here we can take for loop. Yes, and then initialize. So uh, integer I equal to 0, then I less than, or we can take the 3 subject, yes, and then I plus plus. So here we can pass subject of I, yes, and then pointer p of I, yes, that copy, yes, let us check, yes, that work or not properly. And then also define the total, because total is also here. So let us check here. Constructor we can not, I think, count total. Yes, let us check total, and then plus equal to subject of I. So and give the, yes. Now let us check. So all are well, and here we can remove this. I first give the comment because we cannot. Yes, here is that percentage is also count in that get data. So here I multi comment. Yes. So yes. So okay. So now we can call, yes, put data is remaining same. Now we can pass to all value one by one. Okay, and here our object is create. So that is a remove. Get data is not required of student class, and get data is not required to marksheet class, because that not means that constructor we have to provide. And we can take the value from user side. So here we can define like first r, yes, and then subject we have to scan and pass to our pointer variable. Okay, and then just what character name is remain. So that is a character data type, character name of student. Okay, and we can scan also, yes. So first we can, yes, same I just copy, but I think we can remove the get data, yes, that remove our student class. So we cannot copy, but direct write to enter student roll number. That message we have already give, but here, so r, yes, and then I copy this and paste to our name of student. Okay, so I think you have to understand. So perfectly we have to going one by one, and here we can use the get as, yes, so not a risk, because scene is a limitation, not a blank page is including. And here get ch we can take first, yes, here not here, yes. Now and now for loop, yes, that we can pass 3 subject mark to here. So here give the message, yes, here we cannot printf, yes, so see out and enter 3 subject marks, yes, and then we can take one for loop, integer I equal to 0, I less than 3, and I plus plus. Okay, yes, for is already there, right? Okay, no problem. So here we can scan, yes, so yes, see out, and then subject of that print also index. So I print and then parent double quote bracket and then colon sign and then C in, yes, and subject of I. Okay. So yes, that's scanning complete. Yes, now and we can pass to here or object. So there are first we can pass R and then name and then subject of just only name because there are pointer is there. So we can pass to our 1D array that name that is a address and that store in asterisk P. Okay, let us check and then get data. Yes, now is I perfect. Let us check any error is there or any correction is required. So first we can check all this our coding. Just remaining part is a percentage we have to count also. So where is percentage we have to count because we can get data is remove. So yes, total is perfectly. Now put data is there. So we can first total. Yes, here is put data. So here we can find the percentage based on the total. So total divided by 3. Yes, and here we can type casting because here both are integers, so we can provide the float. Yes, type casting. Yes, now is perfect. The total is printed and percentage. So percentage be first find and then print. So here we cannot use grade or the class student, first class, second class. Only simplicity. Yes, there is two error where yes here function for not explain inline. Yes, that constructor whenever we can use that time inline. Yes, undefined symbol at that because for loop is not allowing constructor multi declaration I that type all error is coming. Okay, so we can solve also. So we cannot take inside the class, we can take the outside the class. Yes, so yes, because we have to take here pointer that is not perfectly. We can individual subject assign then and then possibility. So here what to do? Okay, I is where we have to define. Yes, I is where define only one time. So every time that initialize. So here I remove the integer and define to here one I variable. Yes, then now yes, let us check. Yes, now okay, function containing not inline. Yes, that undefined symbol. Yes, where is the undefined set? Let us first check this that error. So okay, yes, here is that. Okay, here we can give the static. Yes, that is a declaration. Okay, so that is perfectly error. Now, okay. So okay, one warning is there and where? Okay, function that inline that is warning, but because there is no any other way because yes, let us check that perfectly work or not. I compile. So roll number is entering, yes, and name of student and 3 subject mark scan. Yes, yes, that perfectly print. But total, yes, total initialize 0. Otherwise, all are garbage values. All are perfectly. But here, yes, so total taking garbage value. So first we can initialize 0. Yes, that remaining. So that taking garbage value. So where is there? Yes, here we can directly count. So here first total assigned to 0 and then we can yes total is not assigned to here we can already give the total found. Yes, here we can count also total. Yes, so here we can assign here. Yes, that first total equal to 0 here is required here because here is a counting. Yes, total. Okay, now let us check how it works. Yes, there is one warning and that is not a aspected inline. Yes, that not inline because that is a for loop is not an inline function. So constructor is there. Okay, so that is only warning, not error. Okay, now is I think perfect. Let us check. Okay, so yes, now ready. Our mark sheet is perfectly. So yes, so sometime we can take some constructor is a here directly we can use the 1D array that is a hurdles of this session. So here we can what to do? Here we can take character integer p and pass to our 1D array address. So how to pass 1D array in constructor, that is also covered in this session. So here look, here we can pass the subject as a address. So that is very important. Okay, and now I remove this, that sure I know use the get data. Okay, so yes, constructor in derived classes, and now that is also not required. Just get data of that. Yes, here all are removed because we can use the constructor. So that is not required to now. Yes, all are gone. I deleted because we cannot use F2 save. Yes, and now what to do? Here we, if constructor is not inheritance, yes, that is a first rule in derivation. So constructor and private member never inheritance. Yes. And so what to do? Here is a public. Yes. Now I start that is public derivation. So all are perfectly going. But when we can call in the like that is also duplicate name here cover already. Here look, here is a our student class is a put data, get data. We can remove the replace the constructor, and here our marksheet class, and here also we can define the default constructor. So there is no require, but here we can give, and also student class we can call that type of, that is default constructor. Okay, so yes, and then here not sign, I directly define that default. Yes, so marksheet and call the word student default constructor, that is also possible. Yes, let us check. Yes, any error? No. One warning is there, but inline, yes, that known as inline, but here we cannot inline is constructor inside that non default is inline. Okay, so we can also take outside of that definition. So yes, let us check constructor in outside. Yes, first we can testing. Okay, so all are work well perfectly, no any error. But we can take now that is a nesting. Yes, here we can call our student. Yes, this technique, marksheet put data, and then our marksheet put data, student put data, and marksheet put data. Because both name is same. But what to do now? We can private derivation. So what happened? Yes, that is also in so here I give the private, not public derivation. So private, yes, let us check. Yes, so error is there. Yes, one error is there. So that is a student. Yes, now this technique is not handled because we cannot write to call the private data. Yes, public data is only called. So how we can call? Yes, same here. I again open this comment line. So public member right to call private data. So here student put data of marksheet class is a public, and then student data of private that because now is in private. Previously we can public. So yes, one, yes, that is warning. Also let us how we can solve also that warning. So here we can what to do? I just copy first here. I will copy and paste to outside class. Yes, let us check possibility or not. We can testing. Yes, so here I can define the outside of class, and that is a constructor. So here which constructor? Our marksheet. Yes, that class is a marksheet. So you have to know we can give the marksheet. Return type is not there because that is a constructor. So here I put all are perfectly. Yes, let us check that not inline. So we can outside of that function. All are remove here. Yes, and copy first, and then here, and then last breath. Yes, so perfect. Save, and then we can only here initialize. So here I remove this part all because we have to just declaration and semicolon. Yes, so here because that is declaration. Yes, let us check that work or not. Yes, what to? Yes, parent. Yes, here because that student and that syntax is not holding. Okay, so semicolon is there. Yes, so we remove. But brace we have to provide, so that is inline. I think let us check that work or not. Yes, one error. Body 2 already is declared. Yes, so that is a Now that is I not taking to outside because that taking some time error. So what to do here, I remove this and only our main, let us check that work or not. Yes, now is perfectly work. Yes, so we cannot declare colon and then sign. Let us check that is perfectly work or not, because we definition time we can bind this part. Yes, not declaration time means definition is there, so we can not colon and then student class. Here only our member is a our mark sheet class, not student class. So that is a now any not warning is there, no any warning. Let us check. And we can private derivation, yes, that, and you cannot define private keyword that also perfectly, but here I write specification. uh, by default is a private derivation. Yes, no, you have to very well, I think. So let us check that perfectly work or any error is there. So three subject mark. Yes, okay, no any error, perfectly works. So yes, now new idea is there, but that is a in declaration time we cannot bind to our base class, just our constructor only derived class definition. That means a declaration, and definition time we can just pass. So that parameter is there, but binding time means definition time we can bind this part. That is I think new, perfectly new for you, I think, or if you know then very well. So yes, I think complete our target achieve. Yes, there is no any error. And private derivation. And let us check protect. So I think we can solve the private derivation. So there is no any error in protect derivation. Let us check. So I just protect that keyword. Yes, and then no, yes, no any error, because private derivation you can handle, then other protect or not any others. So let us check. So I just give t subject mark. Yes, perfectly works. So there is no any error. Okay. So that is we can achieve to our goal, and only one correction is there only here, our subject scanning time. Yes, here in main is there, so that is a directly print here only slash n, not require if you not provide. So yes, I run, and that you can look, no any warning is there, I just show you. So when we can change and save, and again I save, so that time all description provide to you. Yes, let us check. So yes, here all we can solve our warning. Yes, zero warning and zero error, that is perfection. And our single constructor exe executable file is generated. And now scan and then give one, and then we can say the uh, Radha, yes, any name of student or our Krishna or Radha. Yes, so I think perfect. Now, yes, I just summarize. So our one in single inheritance, we can first define this syntax. Yes, derived class constructor, then list argument 1, comma 2, and number of, and then last is a list argument of derived class itself. That is a last, and in between parentheses that is complete parent and colon sign. Yes, and then base class list argument 1 pass 2 and comma n number of n argument list n, that number of n, opening closing brace, and body of the derived class constructor. So we can supply one by one, and at the last is our derived class argument. So based on this syntax we can define to our, that is a normal, our single class is there because that is a base class. Now in the scenario is there, here you can look here, first argument is our base class 2. Yes, and last is a only pointer, that is integer pointer string, here character pointer, integer pointer, both we have to use. Function passing, or we can say that constructor passing the pointer, that concept is here we can use. And now we can definition take outside, because inside we can take, that time inline function is not taking the for complex logic. So that is giving the warning, not error, but we can solve that warning also, not error is there. But here we can what to do. So our member of definition, so constructor is there, no any return type, directly class name and scope rejection. And then our member is a constructor class name and same name, and first two parameters our base class, so that is gone to here. Yes, here is there that syntax. So here our base class student and pass two argument. So first call that two argument initialize, and then p integer p pointer, and we can pass to here also, and also find the total. Yes, that and initialize 0, otherwise taking the garbage value. So we can also solve that error. And that put data is a student, that roll number name print is a ordinary simple member, not constructor. And we can also take inside, there is no any problem. Yes, and here put data of student class, but we can call the student class put data because that is a private member now only, and constructor, so that is a call already. And divide, that percentage we have to find, and type casting, and then 3 subject print, that is already in previous session. So now in main we can take roll number, 3 subject, and student mark. First roll number scan, then name, and 3 subjects we can scan and pass to our derived class constructor, all 3 arguments. But here actually there are 5 arguments because subject of 3 subject pass. So 3 subject, roll number, and name, that is 1D array, and that is a in address of one dimensional array, that is a means name of, in that store the address, that I think you have to know very well. In one dimensional array, name itself is a store in the address, that is a rules of array. So yes, now is not required to hear that statement, that put data, because we have to. But if you public derivation and same name, that time this syntax use. So public derivation you can call this technique, and private derivation you can use to our this technique. Yes, here class name scope resolution, because object is there not right to call the private member. Yes, so that is hurdles. So we can call the nesting member function. Yes. So all are well. Perfectly, what is a derived class handle the constructor of base class, that concept in apply to single inheritance. In our previously my video lecture, I take that open file and apply to this syntax directly. There is and first initially some error, some warning, we can step by step all solve and perfectly run toward this program. So now just write this program, and we can all check the public derivation, private derivation, and protect derivation. Okay, so now I complete. Yes, that our student class look like this constructor, to default and parameterized constructor, and that is our syntax to definition of a derivation class, visibility mode, or R, that already we have to discuss in my previous video lecture. So I cannot revise. And here our student class, that is only define the declaration, not definition. Here base class there is no any hurdles, but derived class here you can look, we can inside, but there is a inline by default, so there is no any error, because that for loop not in here is a for loop, so we can taking outside the definitions, not inside. And that time when declaration time not provide here base class name, that is a error, taking error. We can only definition time, that part is binding. Here look, our syntax here is not binding, but here we can take into our 2 parameter of base class. That syntax we definition time initialize, and declaration time is not needed. So that is also perfect new feature is for you. So yes, I just for you. So now perfectly we handle. And also if you look for better, if that get data is not required to here of student, only one line is there. So I shift delete, and inside the student class here is there. So that's not problem, but here we can define only here. So yes, that I think shift insert. Yes, so that cut and paste. Okay, and remove our, if you require outside but no any problem. So here you can, yes, that is only one line and no any problem, that is no any complication. So inline is there by default, so I remove this outside of that put data. Yes, and also possibility we can take this not because here is a for loop is there, put data of mark sheet we cannot take inside, because that is a inline, and inline is not taking any complication logic. Here for loop and some formula total divide, so that is outside is perfectly. So only possibility, or yes, there is no any warning, no error, and I run again simple. Yes, so here I give my name Shopsi, you can give to your name, and yes, perfectly I 77.33. Okay, scoring the percentage. So good. So yes, that is only fun, but here must be, yes, that is just for reference. So yes, now I all are perfectly done. Yes, now there is no any error. And that comment line right for your public derivation. That time you can use this syntax. So your for reference. So yes, I one screen and write this program to your C++ notebook. First, derived class syntax is very long. Here is there. Yes, here is completed. Yes, so if you not watch perfectly, but here is a syntax. So I enter, but that not if you not looking perfectly. So here colon sign and then write this one line and then opening closing brace is there. Okay, and then for simplicity, in one screen you can understand. So our that base class is there, roll number, name, public, to default constructor to parameterize, and put data we can take inside the class. That is by default all are constructor and default all are inline. By default is inline. And that syntax that already cover, and that derived class very simple we have to define. Yes, and that all member we can define only default constructor, that not requiring that is no any problem, but parameterize, that is a warning, so we can take because that is a used to for loop. So yes, that we can take outside of that definition. And very important point here we can find, in declaration time we cannot need to our base class name, but definition time we can compulsory write this part. So that is a, I think, perfectly point is there to clear your mind. And put data also we can outside, because that for loop also used three subject printing, total and percentage. And now that is our main. Yes. So I close this file. Yes, write this program to your C++ node and alter F3 function key to close this file, message and quit. So yes, subscribe my channel Ashok Sijal Academy. Press the bell icon to never miss any update. Thanks for your watching, supporting, and sharing my video lecture. And any doubt for this definition means derivation, constructor in inheritance in single, and also you can use multiple, multi-level, multipath, hierarchical, all are you can use. No any problem. So any question, any doubt, write in comment section. I give the definitely answer. And thanks again, and Hare Krishna.